Hello, welcome. My name is Stacy. This is my second WIP and chat. I posted my first last week, and it was very chaotic and all over the place. I had actually decided to not. That was my dog. I actually decided to not post it, and then on a whim, I just did it anyways. So it came out at like Sunday night. I could have probably just posted it for like Monday morning, but I'm just like, just do it, just putting it there. But I will try to be less chaotic this time, because just be more on topic, or more not necessarily on topic, just not switching the subject every 30 seconds. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so this is a WIP and chat. So WIP stands for work in progress, and my current work in progress is a diamond painting by Diamond Art Club. This is Hot Air Balloons by Donna Gelsinger. I just have two balloons left, this one and this one. I'm saving this one for last because it looks most like the one that I went up in, which I can probably show you, because I have a picture. But doing this one first, and then we'll end with this one. Normally the way I do diamond paintings, I do one color at a time throughout the entire piece. So, but this one I thought it would be fun to do the background first, and then do balloon by balloon. And so here is balloon by balloon. So I think this ended up working out for the WIP and chat because I don't have to move the canvas a bunch. I'm still unsure of what my plan is for when I am doing one color at a time throughout the whole canvas, because last week I decided to just do the calendar, the Diamond Art Club calendar, which I still have not finished. I'm on October though, like I'm getting there. This one, since am working on one part, I don't have to like move the camera a bunch. And we'll see when I do think I will have this, I know I will have this finished before the next WIP and chat, but I think I might finish this tomorrow. I am not always correct, so it always like takes a little bit longer than you think. You're like, this isn't a lot left, and then you're like, I guess it was a little bit more than I thought. So yeah, today I wanted to chat a little bit more about me, and probably more importantly to anybody who does stumble across this, my dogs, because let's face it, dogs are much more exciting than I am. But I also want to, at the end, I already filmed this part, highlight some trans artists that I enjoy, because Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday, is Trans Day of Disability, March 31st. As long as that's Tuesday, that is the day. If March 31st is a different day, then that is the day. But I do want to broaden the artists that are used in diamond painting. I think it's important to support underrepresented artists. So I've been submitting various artists to Diamond Art Club, and hopefully some of them come. But I know it's a lot more complicated than just like, hey, let's do this picture. So yeah. All right. So I put I am enjoying this one so far. This diamond painting. It's not necessarily the most beautiful artwork image that I have done, but I love hot air balloons. I'm like a giddy schoolgirl with hot air balloons for, whatever reason. So it I love them. It was my dream to go up in a hot air balloon, and I actually got to do that. It's been a while now, actually, though. Let's see, that was probably in 2018. It was 2018. In July or August, I went to the hot air balloon festival that is that is in Quebec, Canada. So my friend and I road tripped up there. So we made stops in like Toronto, which I loved. Highly recommend visiting Toronto if you've never been. And on our way back, we also visited Ontario, Ottawa. We got to see this. They had on the big Parliament building, they were doing this like color show, history show, where they like displayed lights and images on the Parliament building, and it was really cool. So that was a really, really fun road trip. The balloon I went up in was I actually have it. Let me grab it. This is the balloon I went up in. So this is kind of the closest, I think, but not really. So that's what I'm going with. I absolutely loved it. I learned more about fear of heights things. Is a lot of times if someone is afraid of a height, it's because it's connected to the ground. So when we went up the CN Tower in Toronto, that was much scarier than going up in the hot air balloon. Believe it or not. In the hot air balloon, we're not connected to the ground, but it really felt like I was on the ground. Like it just was beautiful. I felt fully safe. They do not fly unless the conditions are absolutely perfect. So they will never, there is always a chance when you sign up to go on a hot air balloon that the launch will be canceled, because obviously safety first. We want everybody to be okay. But it was really, really fun. One of the traditions in a hot air balloon is if you land in somebody's yard, you have a bottle of champagne with you, and you give that champagne to the owners of the property as a thank you for letting them land there. They have a ground crew that kind of follows the balloon and keeps in contact with the pilot, and they will ask the land owners whether or not the hot air balloon can land there. So we ended up landing though in just a public field. I think it was a public field, because we didn't end up having to give the champagne to anybody, so we had some mimosas with it, just like little ones, with the pilot after we were back at the festival. So highly recommend it. I loved it so much. The only unfortunate thing though is we landed in this field of red clovers, and For whatever reason, I had an allergic reaction that I've never had before. I was like, it's kind of hard to breathe, but you know, we're doing things. And then it was easier to breathe when I was not in that field anymore. And then later on, my friend was telling me, like, Stacey, you're breaking out into a like rash. I thought it was hives, but have been informed by a doctor that if it was not itchy, which it was not hives. So just a rash that came, and it did go away. Everything was all good. I didn't have to like go to the doctor or anything, thankfully. So, but found out, oh my goodness, I'm doing this. I swear I'm better at diamond painting than this. Sometimes with multi-placing, it gets a little bit poppy, depending on how you place. So, but yeah, it was such a, that was one of my favorite trips I've ever done. So a little bit more about me, and then of course my dogs after. So as I said, my name is Stacey. I am originally from Minnesota. Went to school in Wisconsin. So the friend I went on a road trip with, I was still in Wisconsin. They had moved to St. Paul, Minnesota. But I was just in River Falls, Wisconsin at the time. So we road tripped from there. So it wasn't like, it was still a very, of course, decent road trip. We first stopped in, we went down past Chicago and then up through Michigan for the way there to get to Toronto. And it was, so we stopped at an Airbnb and we did Airbnb the whole way. So it was we did it as cheap as we could. And so we stopped at a place in Michigan overnight and then continued on to Toronto, where we stayed a day or two. We got to go up the CN Tower, just to say that we did. It was, if I'm remembering correctly, it at one point was the tallest structure in the world, but the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, now has the tallest, and the CN Tower is the second tallest. But we also paid for the extra, where you go up to the even higher part. So there's like the main viewing deck that most people, like, if you just pay your standard fee, that's all you go. But you can pay even more money to go up to the higher one. And I actually was kind of afraid of the heights in that building. And it's because, you know, it was attached to the ground. Whereas I was not afraid in the slightest on the hot air balloon, even though I was thousands of feet up. I was much higher than the CN Tower. But just to say that we did it. It is, I say it's worth it, at least going up to the main viewing deck, because it's a very unique experience. But it is also hella crowded. So I don't, so if you're not a fan of crowds, because you're also going to be going up an elevator to the viewing deck with like a bunch of people, like they fill that thing, and it's also kind of, I might be remembering this wrong, but I think you could see, maybe I might be wrong, but I think you could see out as you went up. You couldn't, I don't think, from the main viewing deck to the upper viewing deck. But yeah, a lot of people a little spendy, but I think it was worth it to do it the one time at least. And if I took my partner ever, I would definitely take him up there, if he's up for it. Like, crowds are not his thing, but it is beautiful. His favorite country is Taiwan, so he's been up the Taipei 101, I think it's called. I apologize if that's wrong. And he loves going up. He went up there tons of times. I think it isn't as much of a hassle as going up the CN Tower is, but so really, really, really beautiful. There's like restaurants and stuff too, but we did not do that part because that was super expensive, and we were broke college people, so I say I was in Minnesota, Wisconsin. After I was done with school, I got a bachelor's and a master's degree. After I was done with school, I lived back in Minnesota for a bit around the Twin Cities area. And then my partner, Zach, and I decided in 2021, pandemic time, that we wanted to try something new out. The winters in Minnesota are not fun. Summers in Minnesota are beautiful. If you're ever wanting to go to a Midwest state for whatever reason, go in the summer. It's gorgeous. But do not go in the winter unless you are prepared, because winters are not great. Although the world is falling apart lately, so everywhere is kind of like up and down and up and down. Pretty sure Minnesota is going from like, below freezing to over 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I do not know what that is in Celsius, but so like it's a bit wild right now in all states, because so we moved to Texas. I'm in the Austin area, and we're also bouncing around down here, but more from like 90 to like 40s or 50s. So still the same amount of the weather is not able to decide what it wants to do, but at a more warm level. So we moved to Austin in April of 2021. And so I am in that area, and I do work in that area as well. I do really enjoy Austin. There's there's like all sorts of restaurants that are delicious, and but there is a possibility that we might do another cross-country move at some point. That might be sooner than we expected. We found out something is getting built right next to our neighborhood that's going to severely decrease the value of our house, and it already is decreased because for whatever, there's some markets that have still been going up since COVID. Austin is not one of them. We bought right before the peak of the COVID market, where we paid a lot of money for this house, and now it's worth like at least $40,000 less. And so this new structure might even lower that more. So it's kind of the thought of You know, do you take the L now and it might be a smaller L, or do you risk waiting and seeing what maybe it does actually go up at some point for whatever reason? Kind of leaving that decision up to Zach, because this is technically his house. So we've been together for 8 years, but we are not planning on getting married, so we do keep our finances separate, but of course help each other. We still are one household. You know, we both contribute to the dogs and the utilities and all of that, and I pay him rent kind of to cover my part of the mortgage. It works for us, and we're enjoying it. We also do not intend to have children. Not for us. I love that for everybody else. And I love other people's children. I just don't love when I'm in charge of those children. So this week I had family visiting. They are going on a cruise that departed from Galveston, which is in the Houston, Texas area. And so my sister and my niece came on Wednesday. Today's Friday. No, today's Saturday. They came on Wednesday, and yesterday, Friday, I drove them to the Houston area, and I got to see some other family members. I'm not like super close with these family members. I enjoy them, but we do have very differing opinions on things. And so it's I had a good time though. We like didn't talk about our different opinions as much as I sometimes want to. So I just kind of shut up. But their opinions kind of hurt, whereas my opinions really don't affect their mindset at all, because that's not something ingrained into their identity and their friends' identities and all that. So I don't want to talk about that. But I still had a good time. This is my brother and sister and my dad. My parents are divorced. My mom is the best mom in the entire world, and my dad is okay. So yeah, he and his current wife are going along the cruise as well. I was not interested in going on the cruise with them, but I did see all of them, which was nice. The sarcasm humor really comes out when I'm with my brother. We have both are incredibly deadpan sarcasm, and I think my dad is too. So one of my friends in college, she was like, I thought I was good at knowing when someone was being sarcastic, but then I met you and I realized I'm not good. And then she met my brother, and she's like, I am extra not good. You both have the same just deadpan sarcasm. But yeah, we played cards, and we had a good time. I was a little bit to my limit of how much children time I could handle. love my niece and my nephews, but last night my niece, she was just so excited, and so she was like yell talking the entire night, and I was struggling with it. So like every time she started to scream talking, I'm just like cringing, trying not to be noticeable with it, of course, because she's having a great time, and I want her to have a great time. It just kind of secures the I don't want children part of my brain. So this morning was kind of chaotic with so we were at a hotel that was probably a half hour away from the Galveston port. So I was going to be bringing my sister and my niece to the port, and the rest of them were gonna Uber. My brother was already in Houston working, so he actually had a rental car that he needed to return. So he's like, Stacy, you're gonna come with, he asked, but basically, you're gonna come with me to return my rental car. It's only 8 minutes away, we're all good. I'm like, okay. So we returned his rental car, I brought it back. I packed up my stuff in my hotel room, and then I went to my sister's hotel room to just hang out until we were gonna leave. And then my brother comes in again and is like, hey, you're gonna take my wife to go get wine, because apparently you can have one 750 milliliter bottle of wine per legal adult on the cruise. So my brother was supposed to get it, you know, the few days he was here and he was working, and he did not. So and then it ended up being too early for the liquor store that I took my sister-in-law to. So we went to Walmart because it was right next door, and Walmart has beer and wine in Texas. So we got that, and then when we came back, it was all of a sudden just fully chaotic. We have to go. Like, we got there. My sister-in-law and I are just casually walking back from my car to the hotel. My brother comes up, hugs me, says, okay, probably can't see you, bye, and gets into his Uber, and my sister and niece are just bringing their bags to my car. So I'm like turning around and like, oh, I have to bring them to the port. And so I start going with them to my car, and then I'm like, hey, wait, I have not checked out of the hotel yet. Like, so I'm like, you pack up the car. I have to go get my stuff so that I can actually, check out too. And, not leave my computer and my belongings in Houston. So, and then it ended up being like so quick and whatever that I didn't even end up getting to say goodbye to my dad, because he thought that we would be able to say goodbye at the port, because my brother was kind of rushing everybody, but then that was not going to work out. It was very busy chaos at the port. So he texted me and was like, I'm so sorry, I thought I was gonna get to say goodbye, but it's all good. I wasn't hurt. It was very chaotic, and it was a little bit my brother's fault. So yeah, they just departed. It's my sister and my dad's first cruise. My brother's been on quite a few, and I think my sister will like it. I'm not sure if my dad will like it. It is a lot going on, and he is not a social butterfly. So like at the like, you know, my sister and brother, they're going to want to be at the pool the whole time. And it's going to be a little busy at the pools, understandably. So I don't know what my dad's going to think of that, but hopefully he has a good time still. My sister, I did grow up with. But my brother actually is my half brother, so just my dad's kid. And I actually did not know he existed until I was 9 years old. Everybody else in our family knew, except for my sister and I, because my dad told everybody to not tell us. And it was, we are still upset with him about that. But my brother got an invite finally. His mom was kind of taking, my aunt would invite him to things, but his mom would kind of get to the mail first and just take the birthday cards that had money in them and take any invites, so he never got them. But he did get one. He was 21, so he went his whole life without a dad. But therefore my dad had to finally tell my sister and I that, hey, you have a brother. So it's kind of funny the way that we were both told. So my sister was told first because she's older, and so he goes to her, he tells her, like, hey, you know I was married before, right? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, you know what happens when people are married sometimes? Like, they have kids. And so, like, I don't know how her reaction was. I wasn't there, but but he told her not to tell me, and she's like, the fuck I won't. You need to tell her right now. It was a couple weeks. I found out a couple weeks after she did, but she kept bugging him, and she's like, no, you're telling her right now, because literally the wedding is like a few weeks away where we're gonna meet him. It's my cousin's wedding. And he, so like, he's like, nope, I will ground you. And she's like, I don't care, Stacy. And I came running. And so he had to tell me. So he took me downstairs and he starts the thing. He's like, hey, so I'm 9. Hey, you know I was married before, right? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, well, I was. And then it was, you know, that same conversation. We're kind of mad. We're kind of upset with everybody for not telling us. One of our cousins tried to get our even younger cousin to just accidentally spill it to us, but it still is like, you know, some of my cousins were like, we were afraid of your dad, and my sister's like, I will deal with him. Like, I'm not afraid of him. He's my father. I will deal with him. I will deal with him for you. Like, do not keep that from people. So, but he's been a part of my life for ever since, though. I'm 31 right now, so I was 9 years old when I met him. It's been a while. Over 20 years. So, so some other things about me. I pulled up a little, like, getting to know you worksheet. So, just to, like, help if I am not knowing what to say. My life is, like, very, very boring. That story, I will admit, is not boring. Finding out I had a brother when I was 9. But my day-to-day life is not super exciting. So is, so this is like favorites. So favorite food. I love a lot of food. My Zach is much more of a foodie than I am, but I will try everything. I struggle with vegetables. You know, I wasn't forced to eat them when I was a kid, and so I rely on texture a lot for my taste, because, you know, taste is a third, or flavor is a third smell, a third taste, and a third texture. I don't have a good sense of smell because I have allergies to dust mites. So, like, you know, I take daily allergy pills. So I don't have a great sense of smell. Sometimes it is non-existent, but since I have found out that I'm allergic to dust mites and have been taking daily allergy pills, it's gotten a bit better. And then I don't, also, for whatever reason, I don't have a super strong sense of taste. I do have a sense of taste, but it's not as bad as like my nose, but still it's not super strong. So I'm very, very heavily a texture person, and since I didn't grow up eating vegetables, they are a texture that I struggle with. I'm willing to try anything though. So is Zach, but he actually likes almost anything. The only thing he doesn't like is pickles. And he still will eat them if it's like he has them. He prefers, same as me, I like pickles, but same as me, where he prefers the pickle to be like smaller, less, not too much juice, vinegar. So we try lots of food, and Austin's very good for that. Austin has pretty much every type of food. The only thing I struggle to kind of find is deep dish pizza. I love Chicago pizza. That is one of my favorite types of pizza. And there are some I haven't tried yet that I have found more recently, so I do gotta try those. But it's not here much, so I will report back if I find anywhere that's great with that. But Austin does have a lot of food trucks. Food truck parks are a really big thing here, and they can be absolutely phenomenal. There's also people that will have like just food trucks in their driveway. Like one of our favorite food trucks, it's just in this person's driveway, and it's birria and fish tacos. They are absolutely delicious, both of those things. So small menu, but like perfection, you know. So but yeah, I love food trucks, and there's quite a few food truck parks in the area of Austin, including the suburbs. So my favorite food, don't go off topic, Stacy. Favorite food is probably tacos, but I really love a lot of things. I love ramen, I love pizza, I love sushi, lots and lots of things. So alrighty. Favorite color is yellow, but I love just bright, happy colors. So one of the reasons that hot air blues, I'm like a little giddy schoolgirl. But and why I gravitate towards diamond painting that is really colorful. I do have ones that are not colorful, and I'm still gonna have a blast doing them, but I'm most of my stash is colorful. So let's see. Favorite hobby is, oh, what kind of question is that on a diamond painting video? Diamond painting. I like diamond painting. I have a pretty big stash. 99% of it is Diamond Art Club. Slowly I want to try some other companies. My niece actually got to try one before I did. I didn't think I was going to get to diamond paint much when my sister and niece were here, but my niece saw my diamond painting and she's like, I must try this, which I was A-okay with. So she actually did her first ever diamond painting. Well, this is a pretty little gem mini, and she kitted this up too. So I have the kit up for the other 11 cocktails. This cocktail set 1. But that also means I did not kit it up, so I don't know. Like I would love to be fully, honest in my opinions on diamond painting companies when I do branch out and try another one. So not having kitted up that's one experience that is a factor in your enjoyment, is the amount of static, the amount of, to be honest, I didn't know what other diamond painting YouTubers meant when they were like, I'm using these dryer sheets for static. Like, it took me a while to understand what they even meant. I'm like, do I deal with this static too, and I just am not, it's not an issue for me, or do I just not have this problem? I don't understand, because I had at the point never had static before that was an issue. Like, I have the occasional static where there's a few diamonds on the side of the container, but it's not an issue. But then I kitted up the mini dazzle, a set of mini dazzles for Mini DP Madness. I did the rainbow mini dazzles from Diamond Art Club, and I kitted them up into an art dot, the circular containers, which is not my normal kit up, because for big ones I use the Forever Young trays, and I actually did finally experience static with those mini dazzles. Not a lot. Like, I didn't have to go get dryer sheets for it, but I was finally like, oh, this is what they mean when they say static. So yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the climate I'm in, if it's the climate plus the Forever Young trays that I'm kitting up into, like the combination, because I know some people have said that they have static with these Forever Young trays, but I have never had that issue so far. Knocking on wood. This is fake wood, this desk, but we'll just pretend it's real. So yeah, I did buy from today's, this is March 28th. I did buy from today's new releases, but I was not able to get, I believe the name is pronounced Liuka, the kitties ones. It's not necessarily a style that like I'm like I have to have this. Unfortunately, my have to have these often include AI, and I'm kind of annoyed that that's the case. But I know people love Liuka, and I do think, you know, they're cute, and that'll be like a really quick time of painting. So I tried to get it today, but as I had mentioned, I was dropping off my sister and my niece at the cruise line port. So it did not go great. I was fully with them at the early VIP release. So I couldn't, and we were like trying to get them there at the time they needed to be there because we were already behind since I had to go check out of the hotel. How dare I go check out of the hotel? But so I couldn't participate in the early release, and I was driving, so I had to do it on my phone when I normally do the new releases on not my phone, on the website. So I was using the app. When I left my sister and niece, it was like 11:25. So I went to go find a place to park. I promise I did not try to purchase while I was driving. I did pull over. But I learned the app doesn't update unless you fully exit out. At least for me, the app didn't update until I fully exited out of the app. I thought going back to the home screen and to new releases back and forth would be enough to reset it, but it was not. It kept saying out of stock, and it was 11:31, 11:32, and then I finally was like, here, let me just try exiting out of the whole thing. I exited out of the whole thing, got it back. It was in stock. Like, okay, let me try to get it. And then it was out of stock right away. So I'm going to avoid using the app for new releases in future. I'll maybe just do the website on my phone. Or at least now I know I should just exit out once the clock hits the time, exit out of the whole app and then go in. I did get the Peggy Collins one. The like meditative, beautiful clouds one. So it's just so pretty. Which again is my conundrum with why do I like all of these art pieces that have AI involved. There are some I don't. I was not personally a fan of the ice cream shop one. The elephant and the bird just looked weird to me. And I did not like the Eclair Studio one, where it was like children's hands. So that it's like I love the message, and that would go really well in like pediatrician's office or something like that. But I would like to have artwork that is more, doesn't look like a child did it. So I really do like It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I don't know the artist off the top of my head. I do have that one. I haven't started it yet. And That one's beautiful. Like, I'm excited to do that one. But last week and this week, Eau Claire Studio just had these like kid drawing ones that they had great sentiments, but it didn't personally for me look good. If you like them, that is okay. Love that. I have Eau Claire Studio. I have quite a few Eau Claire Studio paintings. There are certain ones that I love, and certain ones that I do not like because it's such a variety of what kind of images they do because of the AI stuff. So, alright. What is my favorite store? I don't really shop. I guess I'll say Amazon. But no. What I'll say, I'm gonna plug my friend's store. In St. Paul, Minnesota, there is a store called Evergreen Collective, and I am very, very good friends with the owner. It is a housewares store that is focused on sustainable and ethical buying. So, not necessarily fair trade, because I think the technical definition of fair trade is like, some of the stuff she has is fair trade, but some of it doesn't meet whatever the definition is. But all of it is ethically made, and so like no fast fashion and nothing like that. And she does the work for you, so she tries to make it as easy as possible. If you shop at her store, from the research that she did, this is a reputable brand, most of the time a small company that you're able to support through my friend's store as well. And so everything's ethically made, sustainably sourced, and she has a lot of no waste stuff. So if you live in St. Paul, Minneapolis area, you could take containers there and refill things like soap and stuff like that. And if you live close enough, I don't know if she's still doing this, so don't full 100% take my word for it, but she will deliver weekly for people that are close enough, refills on their stuff, like their soaps and stuff. So shout out to Evergreen Collective. You can also purchase from her nationally. So, I finally got to purchase from her on Black Friday because she's amazing. She didn't do a Black Friday sale. What she did was 10% of your orders went to a local shelter. So it wasn't, a discount for the buyer, but part of your order is going to a really great cause. So that's my favorite star. Favorite snack is very different, than favorite food. I like popcorn. I have a sweet tooth, so any chocolate as well. Favorite movie? I don't think I have an overall favorite movie. I'd need a genre of movies. Like if we go with my favorite Pixar movie, that would be Coco. I went was going through a really rough time when Coco came out, and I went to see it in theaters by myself, and it made me happy in a time where I was not happy. So the connections of that make it my absolute favorite Pixar movie. But I need more genres. My favorite Marvel movie is Infinity War, and next would be Black Panther. I love Black Panther. It's so such a good movie. The second one's okay. Alrighty. What time am I at? Okay, I should, I'll talk more about me next time. I can maybe go through the others of that list. But I want to talk about my dogs and show you Happy Mail, and want to show you those trans artists too. So lots to still do. I don't need to, I don't have the desire that I have to keep this at an hour like some other WIP and chats are, so I apologize if you prefer that. Kind of just talking until I'm done talking. So I have 2 dogs, and they are both 6 years old. First dog is Zuko. It's technically Zach's dog, if we want to be specific, but he's my dog. He is a brindle boxer, 100% boxer. Zach did get him from a breeder, because it was that he wanted to get a boxer specifically because he grew up with boxers, but we were looking at the boxer rescue, but then his mother is like, come look at these puppies with me just for fun, just for fun, and you can't go see puppies and not want one of the puppies. So that's what happened. And we love Zuko. He's a goofy boy. He really loves car rides. He really just loves being with his people. So like if one of us is taking him on a walk, he's like hesitates if the other one is not also going, because he's like, we all have to be together though. What do you mean they're not coming? Like, they need to come too. We all need to be together. I need to keep account of everybody. So he's super cutie. He is very gentle, but he does struggle a little bit with people and delivery trucks. He was pretty good at that stuff as a puppy, but then COVID happened, so he was a COVID dog. Suddenly we didn't socialize with anybody in person, and so he kind of lost those skills. So we do have to like slow introduce him to people, but once he loves them, he loves them. He's a big wiggle butt. One of my favorite quirks of him is actually my dog tax for him for today. If we have like treats on a walk, and he knows they're in our hand, he's gonna try to just like boop our hand over and over until he finally gets it. It's adorable, so I'll show that in a second. First, though, I'm going to talk about my other dog, Zoe. Zoe is from a shelter. She is technically my dog, but again, they are both of our dogs. Zoe is a small American bully. She is also 100% American Bully. I got her from a shelter, so I'm like, oh, she's probably a mutt. I want to know what she all is. Let me submit her DNA to one of those things so that I can see what breeds she is, because that's so fun. And it came back 100% American Bully. I'm like, okay, that was anticlimactic. She lives up to her name. She is a bully. She bullies Zuko quite a bit. She will always steal his toys. She doesn't steal his food. He did show her that's not okay, but for toys he just lets her take them. But then she doesn't even actually want to play with them. She only wanted them because Zuko had them. Zoe's favorite thing is walks and fuzzy blankets. She loves a fuzzy blanket. Her kennel is one of her favorite spots in the entire world because she has this big, fluffy bed in her kennel and a fuzzy blanket. So, like, she will, if she's tired for the night, she looks like, I'm going to bed, and she just runs, like full-on sprint runs into our bedroom to go to sleep in her kennel. Like, I think every time it happens, I think she's needing to go to the bathroom or something, because she does, like, not always realize that she needs to go until the last minute, and then she's like, I gotta go now. And so you know, we've had some accidents, but there's just times when she does that, and I'm like, oh, she's just running to her kennel. So yeah, she loves walks as well. She likes routines. She needs 3 to 4 walks a day, and she's going to be incredibly annoying if she doesn't get them. She'll be like, yes, it is time for my 3rd walk of the day. Human, I'm going to bother you until you cave and give me what I am owed. So she's annoying sometimes. And then also just like the way we have to walk, you know, if I ever like went off of the sidewalk, she would be pulling back to the sidewalk, because she'd be like, no, we're supposed to walk on the sidewalk. This is how walks work. What are you doing? We have to walk here. So, so yeah, she's fun. I also like when we were told she was 5. When I first started fostering her, I was like, oh, this is just a guess, because I actually I volunteered at the shelter that I started fostering her and then adopting her from, and I'm like, oh, this is just a guess, because, you know, when they get stray dogs, she was just found by herself. They'll guess, you know, based on her teeth, based on whatever. So I'm like, oh, they guessed that she's 5, but to me, she really feels like she's 2, because she has puppy energy. She has so much energy. But then last year, I had to do some lab work, so I had to get a stool sample, just, you know, as your general annual. Nothing was wrong. And lo and behold, when I look at the lab paperwork that goes with the sample I'm about to submit, it has a birthday on it. Like, she had a known birthday and nobody told me. So I missed her birthday last year because I was just going to use her adoption day as her birthday. But no, she actually is 6 years old, and she is going to be turning 7 at the end of April. And I know that now. So she's older than Zuko, despite being much smaller than him, and much more energetic than him. So yeah, the intros to my doggies. Here is dog tax of the week. So here. Okay, and then the other thing I want to do today is I made a list of trans artists that I like. Some of them, like, as in I would love to diamond paint their work, and some of them to, and some of them just to show because they're super talented. So I already recorded that, so I will. Trans Day of Visibility is March 31st, and so I wanted to showcase some trans artists, but also some trans artwork. So these first two specifically are, I don't actually know what their gender identity is of these artists, so just as a disclaimer, I do not know their identities, but I do want to highlight them because they do have some trans non-binary artwork that is gorgeous. This first one is actually from is an artist that is on Jaded Gem Shop, which is a diamond painting company. I have never ordered from Jaded Gem Shop, but I do want to. At some point, I've heard good things, but I cannot, as of now, speak to the quality of this shop. But one thing I like about this shop is that they have queer art all year round and not just in Pride Month. So, these specifically, this is Gift of Grace. They have a trans picnic and a graffiti non-binary image. They also have a few other queer ones: pansexual, aromantic, bisexual, asexual, etc. This is just, a phenomenal representation. I would not have expected to see an aromantic art piece on a diamond painting website. So I really love it. Next is, I also do not know their gender identity, but the artwork is phenomenal. So Minimartful on Etsy. I don't know if that is their artist name or if that is just the shop name, but that is the Etsy account. This I need to diamond paint immediately. Like, this needs to already exist. And yes. So, but they have a ton of artwork. So, they have all of the flags. Like, so they have these art pieces in the different flags. So you have gender fluid, gender queer, the non-binary one. And then they also have like body positivity artwork, and Halloween, just one little Halloween one. But I think they are beautiful pieces, and I need this one. Like, I probably am going to buy this just as an art piece because I want it. Yeah. So next is an actual these are the rest of these, I know, are trans or non-binary. So this first is the Art of Madeline Preby. So they have a Linktree that I will post in the comments, as well as their Instagram handle and all of that. They have a bunch of artwork. Like, they have these little dudes that are kind of fun. One that I submitted all of these little ones. I think they're cute. Oh, here's all of them. Look at that. Stunning. Okay. But my favorite, let me bring you this. I need this to be a diamond painting, and I need it to be all special drills. All of it. Special drills. So I submitted this one and those other ones, maybe some more, to Diamond Art Club. And I need this. This next one is the Ink Maiden. On Instagram, I scrolled down to this series because I don't think YouTube is gonna want to allow me to show the earlier stuff, but I recommend it. They are a tattoo artist, so I do think their zodiac series. This is Sagittarius. They have Cancer. They have all 12, of course. But I think that could transfer well into diamond painting. But I just in general wanted to highlight them. If you're a fan of ink, this is an artist that you should check out. Next is Sasha R Jones. This is their website, and the next is their Instagram right after this, because they have some art on the website that is not on the Instagram and vice versa. This specific illustration work, look at this. Does that not scream diamond painting? Like, I need this. They also have just additional stuff on their Instagram. So really cool looking pieces that aren't loading, of course. But so many good stuff. Alrighty. This is gonna just refresh. So hopefully that fixes the internet thing. This is Ripley Larue. They have a lot of portrait work. Like, this would be stunning as a diamond painting. They have a ton, and I recommend checking them out. So they have a lot of portrait, and I've already said that, but it's nice. This is one of my favorites. Merrick Lynch. The Instagram is UNACCTMANGO. I don't know if that's an account mango, or a account mango, like un. But they have some stunning pieces. The ones that I submitted are a little bit farther down, but this is one that I submitted. Like, this is so gorgeous. I need it. One that I didn't submit that I just found that I should have submitted it. Look how cool this is. It's stunning. I need it. But when I did submit some more. I submitted this one. This is one of them. They have just really cool fantasy-esque stuff. Next is James Talon Art. Let me start at page 1. They do a lot of animal work. So, with a few humans at the beginning, but most of the rest is animal work. These are just, I think, translate really well to diamond painting. One thing they do. Okay, first look at this Frenchie. This is important. It's adorable. But they actually do. You can request a deposit for a pet portrait. So if you are wanting to get a pet portrait, especially if you maybe want to get said pet portrait as a custom, to like, if you get enough treasure quest cards at Diamond Art Club, or if there's another company that you get that custom from, uh, this this is an option. I think they'd be really great. Um, but the most important piece, okay, there's a calf. It's cute. But look at the boxers. Look at the boxers. So I have a boxer, a brindle boxer, so not this fawn coloring, but it just excites me anytime I see my little puppies in art. um, yeah, this is that they have a ton that I think would just work really well. And my last one is Rae Senarighi, RAE, and then space Senarighi. They did a Transcend series in 2018 that I think is gorgeous. They do get commissions to like bring this specific portfolio um, to art galleries because it's gorgeous. Like, why would you not want this one and this one and this one? Like, they are just really beautiful. So that's the last one. And if you have any that you would like to share with me, I would love to check them out, and then maybe we all can submit all of these pieces to licensing together. Yeah, that's my list of artists that I want to highlight. There's obviously tons and tons of artists out there. If you have any trans, non-binary artists that you would like to highlight, or maybe even trans, non-binary business owners, I would love to know about them and support them. Like, please leave that in the comments if you do know of any, because Trans Day of Visibility is on March 31st every year. And obviously, we want to highlight underrepresented artists all year. But I thought it'd be, since I'm just starting, having fun doing these little chats, that would be a good time to highlight some really great ones. Also, we just had voting for Diamond Art Club, and these are my votes for the month. I had a good amount last time. Or whenever it was Christmas, I think that was the last time. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. When it was Christmas, I only chose one. I didn't like the Christmas selections this year, but I chose a few this time. So I hope that some of them can become diamond paintings. I only started voting in November, so I'm not at the point yet where I've seen something I voted for like show up in a release yet, but I'm looking forward to that day. I will buy whatever comes out first that I voted for. And I'm not at the point yet where artists I have submitted to Diamond Art Club have shown up in voting. I feel like that takes a little bit of time too, because contracts and stuff like that. And also they might just say no, and they also, Diamond Art Club might not reach out to them at all. So who knows? Maybe some other diamond companies will partner with them, or if I just have to admire their artwork as just artwork, not diamond art, I still will do that. I should show happy mail of the week. So I'll start with my Diamond Art Club orders that came this week. First is roller skates mini dazzles. This is just kind of something I threw in to get free shipping, because one of my wish lists came available, which I'll show in a second. So like these are fun. What it came with was, I'm so excited for this one. Is Wonder Woman 1984. I don't even follow DC Comics much, but like, look at this background. This is going to be so fun. But because of the licensing with it, it doesn't come with a Treasure Quest card, sadly. But that would look beautiful as a Treasure Quest card. She's beautiful. So that was one order, and then I decided, let me also just do another order, because this is kind of cute. I don't normally go for this style of artwork, but I had a lot of fun with this the pastel dragon one I did, because it was just really an quick and easy one. So I thought this would also be kind of fun, and quick and easy. So I got that, and to get the free shipping for that one, I did one of the washi tapes. And I looked at them, but I haven't looked at them too closely yet. These are the ones that I got. So first, some flowers, hearts, little leaves, little just colorful, more hearts, space, trees, lots of greenery, flowers, sea, some more space flowers, got some sparklies, and these. I like that there's a good amount of washi tape that comes with these. Some of the ones I bought on Amazon are literally like a third of this, and so it only works with one canvas. Most of the time I just do white washi tape because I'm boring, but now I have these, so maybe I'll expand. And I actually also did some non-Diamond Art Club orders that came this week, which is really fun. So the first one was from Zodiac Shadows on Etsy. Stoke Your Dragonfire had them as a sponsor, and I thought some of their 3D printed stuff was really cute, so I decided to get some stuff from them with the discount code that Stoke Your Dragonfire had. And this is the extras that they sent. So this is not what I ordered, but they sent this stuff. So this is their card if you'd like to see. Little sticker work is also coffee time. I don't actually drink coffee. This, I'm not, like, I think it's washi tape, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this skinny of washi tape, because I feel like the sticky part around a canvas is even bigger than this. So you'd have to do like 2 layers. So I'm not 100% sure what to do with this one. And then my favorite thing is this little 3D printed dinosaur. It's just a little cutie. So that's what came extra with the little package, which is really cute. And then what I actually got I got a 3D printed pen and a 3D printed trash. To be perfectly honest, I'm not a huge fan. I wanted to try, but I don't fully like the texture. I don't know why I was expecting a more smooth, shiny texture, but this is more of like a wood feel. And so it's still super pretty. Like the pen is actually done very well. So if you don't mind that texture, it's very, very lightweight. And it's done very well. This one's done a little bit less well. As you can see, they didn't really fix up the edges. And there's a lot of rough and little cracks in it. So not a huge fan of this, but it is a cover minder. And I needed a trash can, so kind of only have like a couple of things because I don't want to overdo it with accessories because I really don't need to. I'm going to just be using my favorite ones anyways. This is not for, yeah, so it works as the purpose. I am using it because I don't have another trash can, but I'm probably still going to look for a different one. It's just not personally my favorite, but that doesn't mean that it is bad quality of any means. That is just, I would prefer a different texture, which is probably my fault for not realizing what the texture was going to be. But the other one that I got was my first Distracted by Diamonds canvas, which I'm excited about. So first I got some extras. There's some extras I found on the floor, so I think it came from Distracted by Diamonds, but there is a chance it also was from Zodiac Shadows, but I think it would have been in this if it was Zodiac Shadows, whereas this had more of a chance of like falling on the floor. So I think it's from this. This is little stickers. This one says the pickles. Makes me think of Rugrats. This one says feminist, which I like this one a lot. Let's see. Oh, sorry if that was super loud. Jeez Louise. Okay. I'm getting one of the fruit snacks, or like gummy bears. I will eat those. I just wanted to save for the Happy Meal. And then comes with a little bit of wax that smells. There's some scented waxes. So blackened amethyst and PWSS, Patty Wax Super Sticky. And some special gels, some blue ones. So that was really nice. I love that both of these shops gave little goodies. It's really kind. And this is the Diamond Painting. Don't know how it's gonna. So this is Brian Rollison, and it's the Little Witch. I probably won't do this one quite yet. It'll be a little bit before I get to it, but I'm excited to try it, and I do want to give my opinion on any company that I try, and I will be fully honest about what I think. So, haven't looked at the canvas yet or anything. So I would like that to be fully part of any reviews I do, from opening them to getting them up to doing them. So the Pretty Little Gem is going to be a little different because my niece already kitted it up, so I don't know exactly what I want to do because I still want my first impressions. But so yeah, that is this week. I am having fun diamond painting and talking about diamond painting. So if you have somehow found your way here, I'm surprised for one, but welcome. Please feel free to stick around if you'd like. Leave any artists that you recommend and any small businesses that you recommend, and I'll make sure to include all of the artists I mentioned and my friend's store in the description below. So see you another time.